Anti-Vaccine Radio, get ahead, get seen, get heard. The distance between you and your dreams is action.
Hello and welcome to Anti-Vaccine Radio. I'm your host Carlita and I'm honoured to have a great guest to kickstart today's show from the health and mindset coaching industry, which will be great for anyone who's interested in getting into coaching and learning about the challenges of this industry and what it can also offer you and how you can help people. We'll be discussing what Dimple does to help people, and after we'll get into the business side of coaching and how it works. So I'm going to start by giving listeners a description of Dimple and what she does. Dimple Bindra has been working 8 years as the CEO and founder of Yoga Can Heal. Through Yoga Can Heal and now DimpleBindra.com, her passion is to provide lasting solutions to today's health challenges. And she works alongside, or she has worked alongside multiple physicians in the San Francisco Bay Area, applying her training as a yoga and meditation therapist and medical intuitive to help people heal both physically and emotionally. She's available to speak on mental health issues amidst the COVID pandemic and beyond. And she has helped her clients recover from migraines, hyperthyroidism, vertigo, childhood trauma, and addiction. Dimple utilizes ancient Eastern modalities, including intuitive medicine, yoga, meditation, acupressure, energy healing, and brainwave reprogramming. In short, her clients say that she is able to identify and treat issues and that an X-ray simply cannot reveal. And Dimple's philosophy is metamorphosis, not medication. So Dimple, welcome to today's show. And it's a great pleasure to have you here today. Let's start by giving a bit of background about yourself and what led you to your current passion.
Sure. Thank you so much, Carlita, for having me on your show. I so appreciate it. The reason I started practicing yoga and even teaching the modalities that you mentioned is I actually suffered from a childhood trauma when I was about 16 years old. And I'll give you more details later on, like during the show, but that's what got me to start practicing yoga, and I healed my own body. And that's when I figured if I can heal myself, being a child who suffered from this issue, I figured that this is my way and this is my purpose to actually go teach it to other people. And that's how I started teaching yoga when I was about 20, I would say 21 or so. And from there on, I'm 37 now. I'm just continuing teaching this.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what were you doing before you started working as a coach? What kind of brought you to that?
Sure. So okay, this is gonna take me back to the memory lane. I started working at the age of 10, actually, in Abu Dhabi. And while I was working, I was abused many times, sexually abused and physically abused. And I came to this country, United States. I came to New York, landed in New York when I was 15. And from 6 months of being in this country, I was gang raped. I was picked up, abducted, gang raped by 4 men. That's the childhood trauma I was talking about. And I was hospitalized because I overdosed myself with pills and I just wanted to commit suicide after that incident. But during the hospital visit, at that time, I was almost about 200 pounds. I was really overweight. I had severe cystic acne. I had PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I was depressed as a child and I was suicidal, and that's what I just wanted to kill my life. But in the hospital, I had a dream, and the dream was my future self, but I didn't know at that time that's my future self. But I just saw a beautiful girl, curly hair, skinny body, and I'm like, wow, who is this girl? And later on, I found out that, okay, that was me. So that vision came to me where I'm supposed to heal myself. So I healed my body. I practiced yoga, I practiced meditation. Long story short, when I started healing, I started shrinking. When I started shrinking in size, I started becoming more beautiful and I started appreciating myself. And that's when I realized, if I can heal myself, being a girl who was a teenager, who was sexually abused and raped and molested, if I can heal it, maybe there's so many other children and women out there that have the same problem. So let me heal myself first, and then I'm going to show them the way. And that's what got me into being a yoga and a meditation therapist. And then I became a medical intuitive. And then later on, now I'm focusing on mental health coaching. So yeah.
Well, that's absolutely amazing story, and I'm pretty sure that will touch a lot of people who understand the level of trauma that one experiences in those kind of situations, especially when you're very young. And you are obviously testimonial to what you've done for yourself to be able to get through that. That's incredible. So I guess that experience has sublimated your desire to help other people who have gone through trauma as well. Would you say?
Exactly. So I feel, because most of my clients are women with relationship issues, or women who are sexually abused in the past, or women and children, of course. So women and children who basically have been abused, and they're holding the trauma, and then that trauma converts to diseases, and then they go to the doctors, and then they cannot heal their body. So then they come to me. So my goal is, I just show them the way that, hey, here is how I help myself, and here is how you can help yourself too, because I believe that medications are not going to solve, our problems. I feel transformation is going to solve their problem. And so we have to go to the root cause of what caused it first. And once we get to the root cause of it, we start accepting and loving ourselves and not shaming ourselves for what we went through. And from there on, the healing just happens, because you have the right intention to heal.
Yes, absolutely. So can you explain how you use yoga and meditation to help people who struggle with past trauma to heal themselves, or past or addictions, and some of the things that people come to you for help with?
Sure. So let's say trauma, for example, like all my clients with trauma, I put them on a regular daily yogic and meditation practice. The reason is, once you start practicing yoga, your body starts calming down, because you work on your parasympathetic nervous system, which means it just calms the nervous system down, because these people have so much of mental thoughts that take them into an anxiety and a depression cycle. So first step is, I start them off with very gentle yoga and breathing techniques, because the more they breathe, the more they feel good, because they have more oxygen in their body. And that's the physical aspect of yoga that helps them to just get into a rhythm and a discipline. Once they start practicing yoga with the proper breathing technique, then I also introduce meditations to them. And the reason I introduce meditation is because most people that have trauma are in their heads thinking about the past and keep reliving the story again and again and again and again, which makes them feel horrible about themselves and about the other person. It brings them to a level of more anger, more hurt. So when we introduce meditations, what happens is they calm down, their thoughts calm down, they go to an altered state of consciousness. What simply means is a state that they feel good, where there are no thoughts. And I just remind them to be more in the present. So when they start becoming more in the present, they start disconnecting from the past. When they start disconnecting, then automatically the healing starts happening, because you're meditating, you're bringing in cosmic energy into your body, you're increasing your vitality. So automatically in few months, x-rays have shown the diseases start subsiding, or they start not showing up on x-rays. If they ever had an x-ray, like a couple of my clients who had hypothyroidism, the hypothyroidism goes back to normal. So the whole body starts functioning properly. So that's how I start. First, a regular yogic practice, then introducing breathing, and then meditation, and then gradually the body starts healing. It's just magical. So
yeah, it's amazing. It's really interesting that. So a lot of trauma in hypnotherapy practice, we learned that a lot of trauma was also kept in the cells of the body as well, right? So
yes.
how would yoga help that? Does yoga as well as meditation help release the trauma from the cells in the body, would you say?
Absolutely. So for example, here is what I've seen from like years of like teaching. When I'm just gonna take an example of a woman who has been sexually abused. So let's say me. Let's say me. I would have pain in my lower abdomen constantly, and I would have pain in my inner thighs constantly, even years after the tragedy happened. And I'm like, what is this? I'm able to like heal my body and my skin is better. I don't have PCOS anymore. But what is this still? Because obviously I still had to heal. There are layers in healing. So when I started doing yoga and started stretching that area, the secret is when you're stretching, there are parts of your body that obviously, like you said in hypnotherapy, if cells are holding the trauma, what I've seen in my own practice, in my own body, is I would breathe into that area. When I'm breathing into that area, my eyes are closed and I'm stretching that part, I noticed there was so much pain there. And as I'm just breathing and breathing, I'll start getting memories of the past, because I'm going deeper into the layer consciously as I'm breathing into that painful area. Memories will come up. And when memories would come up, I would get upset again. And I'm like, oh my God, and I'll come out of the stretch again. So after doing it so many times, I figured, oh, I have to just stay with the memory and not let that memory kill me in present time. And that's when I realized the magic formula is whatever part of your body hurts, close your eyes, focus on the pain, things will come up, let it come up, but don't react to it. Don't judge it.
Be
Stay in the moment.
emotionally detached. Yeah.
Exactly. Be emotionally detached to it, and then just let the magic of your breath and the magic of being in the present help you. And eventually the pain started subsiding. Now I can stretch and I don't get that pain anymore. So that's how I figured people are holding on to trauma in their bodies, because I myself had so much pain in my right hip and my inner thighs. And so that's what I would introduce them during the sessions.
Yeah, that's really interesting. It works very similarly to hypnotherapy as well, because we say to go deep, but be emotionally detached and observe it from that perspective. And there's magic in that for sure, going into it. It's brilliant. Yeah. So could you explain a little bit about what intuitive medicine is here? Because some listeners might not really understand fully what that means.
Sure. So intuitive medicine is very, very similar to energy medicine. And if people have not heard of that term, it simply means a person who can use the power of their own intuition to close their eyes and scan your body like an X-ray machine scans your body and then tells you what's wrong within your body. So basically, a medical intuitive is a person who is trained to scan someone's energetic system, which is your physical body is still here, but your energy body goes way outside your physical body, like a large circle, like your own aura, if you have heard that term, your aura, right? So medical intuitive can scan someone's aura and then sense what's wrong within the person, even though doctors cannot find what's wrong within the person, because we use our intuition to go and scan that person's chakra system, which is their energetic system, and see what chakras are not balanced. And then we just guide the person and say, hey, this chakra is not balanced. Maybe you're holding on to a memory from the past. Maybe you're grieving your mom who passed away. It's still stuck emotional energy. And all we do is we tell our clients, and then the clients will start cleansing. And of course, we help them with the cleansing and the detoxification process. We help them to protect their energetic boundary, which is their aura, so that they don't get affected by it anymore, because their body's already affected by it. So that's what intuition medicine is. It's simply a healing method of a person who can actually scan what's wrong with you, even though no doctors can find what's wrong with you. And sometimes you yourself cannot find, why am I getting this pain? You know, because pain will just come up from nowhere. So yeah, a short description of it.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks. So what do you find as some of the most common issues that health-wise and mindset-wise that people come to you for help with?
One is lack of self-love. Second, lower self-esteem problems. Third, I would say 100% trauma and a lot of mental health issues. So, you know, anger and a lot of frustration, even anxiety and depression. So that's very common, that common kind of clients that I feel that I am serving. And I feel it's, you know, it's because of the pandemic made it worse. People are more lonely. They're home, isolated in front of the technology. Your back hurts and you're like, where are my friends? Where are my families? I think that itself has caused a lot of people to have this feeling, including me. So I'm not different than anybody else. So I feel like that has really increased because in the last 2 years. And that's why it's so important for us to focus on our mental health more so now. And thank God things are opening up so we can connect more physically, because that really is going to help our human race, is what I feel. But those are the clients that I am working with.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree that this whole situation has created a great deal more trauma than many people are already dealing with, for sure. What kind of results can people expect to see in themselves when they've been working with you and after?
Okay, good question. Definitely be more in love with yourself. Accept yourself for who you are. If someone has done wrong with you, it's not your fault. So what they start feeling is they start having more clarity, more confidence. If they have a particular disease in their body, most probably they know the root cause of the disease and they are able to eradicate that disease from their body if they're doing the right work that's guided to them. Because sometimes, you know, we'll have clients that will not listen to you no matter what you say. So I usually tell my clients, if I tell you something to follow, and if you follow it this way, only then I can guarantee you 90% of the progress. The 10% you got to put it in. So I would say they just have more confidence, more clarity, their body starts transforming. They're just better human beings on this planet than how they were before.
Yeah. So how long does a client initially work with you for? What kind of period do you offer for that?
Honestly, in my experience, I have worked with clients for anywhere from 12 weeks. That's because I teach them for 12 weeks in my program, until 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Because sometimes they come in, they're thinking, okay, things will get better in 12 weeks. Yes, they do get better, but then they still need someone to hold their hand and then take them further. Because as you know, people have goals. Like you may have a goal today and in 12 weeks you achieve that goal, but then you may have more goals later and then you may have more goals. So they start off with their health goals and then they go into relationship goals and then they go into their life goals. And that's why I've worked with some of my clients that are with me since the last seven years.
Wow. And I guess when you're coaching people, there's a really strong bond between you as well, because you've shared so much together and there's that transformation and they're quite trusting of you. So I guess they're going to stay in touch with you for a long time, right?
I think so. I feel like most of my clients end up becoming my extended family.
Yeah.
Like they can reach out to me for whatever reason and then I will be there for them. Like that's how I feel. For them, obviously, I'm probably their coach and therapist, whatever, but we do maintain our confidentiality that's there. But yes, you're right. You do get attached to people, you have their best interest for them. And I always give my heart and soul to all of my clients. And I want to make sure because I feel that there is a spiritual thing about me, but I feel like if someone just knocked on my door for help, I gotta help them and I gotta help them till the end.
Yeah.
that's what I try to do. So
that's brilliant. So do you hold retreats or anything like that?
At the moment, I am not holding any retreats, but I do just offer, I would say, virtual coaching programs. Yeah,
okay.
But not retreats.
Okay, well, if there's anything like workshops or up and coming events, you can mention that at the end of the show if you wish. Yeah.
Anti-Vaccine Radio, get ahead, get seen, get heard. Discomfort is a catalyst for growth. It makes you yearn for something more. It forces you to change, stretch, and adapt.
It's definitely a fascinating industry, and it's quite challenging for people who just first start getting into the coaching business. Some people think that they just have to set up a website and that's it, and a few flyers and a few business cards, and what they don't realize, it's kind of like setting up a shop in the middle of the desert, and there's no pathway to the shop. So when they start actually learning that it's not just about having a website, and there's, you know, a strategy that they need to do, like either leveraging social media or going to somebody to help build leads or build a sales funnel to get them to their ideal clients. And some people just rely solely on organic leads from their social media. I'm sure you've probably had a very different experience because you've been working one-to-one in the beginning and all of that. Do you want to just share like how you got started with getting your clients, and then, you know, kind of what you do now in order to help generate more clients for yourself?
Sure. So I would say, because my work has been pre-COVID, and before I used to work with physicians, and that was one of my ways of getting clients, because they would advertise me and I would just see clients. And so this is the database of the physicians. They would refer over clients to me, because these physicians, they couldn't do yoga, meditation. They were chiropractors and they were acupuncturists, so they would just refer clients to me. My second way of getting clients was I would teach, because in the Bay Area, I would basically go into all these different corporations and teach yoga and meditation and fitness classes. So I taught at Google and LinkedIn, Facebook, Cisco, Yahoo, SanDisk, like so many companies. So my whole day was packed, because I would go into Google at 10 o'clock and leave, and then 12 o'clock was at Facebook and teach yoga and then leave. And then I would just go into all these different corporations. And as I'm teaching yoga, I have like a group of 10 to 50 people coming to these classes. So I was already exposing myself, and that's how I would get clients be like, oh, Dimple, I have back pain. Can you help me? Sure. Come to my clinic. So that was my way of getting clients. But then COVID happened, which sucked for all of us. And then I'm like, oh, now I got to move my business virtual. What do I do? So what I did was I had a company. Now I don't run it anymore. It was InstaVital. So I started InstaVital in 2017. And what we did was we did offer these wellness sessions to corporations and to individuals. So during COVID, I built my own yoga fitness studio online, where we registered people and then they used to come into our classes. So we offered 10 classes a week, different classes. Every day is different. So one day yoga, one day HIIT, one day dancing, Zumba. So I had all these instructors that were teaching those classes, including me. I was one of the instructors too, but I was managing it. So that's how we got our clients. But then after I stopped working for InstaVital because our co-founder died, and then I thought, okay, I'm just going to focus on my own brand, Dimple Bindra. So I focused and transitioned from fitness, I went into wellness and mental health, because I figured that was what my calling was. So now, during that time, what we did was, of course, we built a website, and we did Facebook ads, we did organic marketing, but I'm just gonna say we have tried everything, everything that possibly works. And I can tell you that it's not easy. I'm still not there yet where I'm getting like thousands and thousands of leads. That's not true. But here is what works. In the end, the same strategy worked that worked for me years ago, which is building relationship with people. That's it. It all comes down to building relationships and connections with people. Mm-hmm. And if you can do that to a cold audience or to a warm audience, whether it's through video or email or calling them, whatever is your avenue, just build a relationship with one person and focus on that one person and keep building it, because the sales cycle is anywhere from 0 days to like 2 years. Yes. So don't think like, if I don't talk to this person, and they're not buying from me today, they may buy from you in the future. So what worked for us is just building those connections. Mm-hmm. And we feel that we have more organic leads coming in than those cold leads, because those cold leads, they don't know me. They are seeing my Facebook ad and Instagram ad, but they don't know me. But then what do I do? So we have our team, which is trying to build a rapport with them, message them on Facebook and Instagram and add value. And then they hopefully hop on a call and hopefully they come.
So
Yeah.
with the conventional method of Facebook ads, or Google ads or Instagram ads, which of those in like the mainstream social media do you think gets the best results?
Honestly, we are still in testing phase, so I can't even tell you. But all I can say is, I guess Facebook and Instagram ads worked for us, at least to get leads coming into the door. But at least you need to understand that those leads will come in, but they may not be quality leads. There may be people who cannot afford your services. So we're still testing a few things. Maybe in a year from now, I'll have better answer on what to do, what not to do at all. But what I know for sure is what not to do, or what did not work for us, was LinkedIn ads. They were so expensive, almost $100 a lead.
Wow.
I feel it's not worth it. Yeah. But if there's a short answer, I would say Facebook ads. Yes, you can try it, but obviously your copy has to be good. Your messaging has to be good. You need to have the right hook. You need to have the right video on there if you're doing video, and you need to have the right channel of like right funnel. You could have a video and it's probably going just to the video and not to like a call to action. So your call to action has to be very clear. It needs to be book a call here with me now, and let your calendar be open so you can actually be available for the call. Yeah. Or have closers, you know, who can close it for you if you're not available.
Yeah. So it sounds like that your strategy has had to change and adapt through the years. And you know, you've just been on a learning curve as you're in your business. Is that right?
That's correct. So I'm not there yet, is what I feel, where I need to be. But again, you know, I take it as I take my business more like it's on a spiritual path, and I feel like, okay, the divine does not want me to be too big right now. So maybe just want to be here and then learn and fail 1,000 times before I get one success. And I'm okay with it. Yes, I'm like just like, you know, most people, I get upset, I get angry, but then I'm like, you know what, this is the way it is. And we have to accept it. That's it. We have to accept it and move on and be motivated about the next day again. Yeah.
Well, I think that's how everybody succeeds. It's a lot of fails first. And everyone says that. So yeah, and it's amazing really how you've changed and adapted really well, compared to a lot of people who haven't been able to do that. You know, they haven't figured it out just yet. So I think you've had a lot of success in that, you know, just keeping at what you're doing and persisting, and absolutely I agree that it's about building relationships. That is the most important thing there as well. So what would you say is your future goal with your work?
My future goal is, okay, this may sound funny, but I want to obviously reach at least 100 women. I just say 100. Why? Because I'm just starting off with my newer brand, and our coaching programs are expensive. You know, they're not cheap. So I just want to get to 100 women, and that's it. And that's my current this year goal. But then my future goal is going to be that I'm just going to offer my services online, where anyone can come in and then get our courses or our services, and that's it. So that I can help them, where they can help transform their mindset and not live in their own bubble. So that's my goal. My goal is for people to shift their mindset, because the more people that shifts their mindset, the more conscious we can become as a planet. That's what I really want them to do.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you there. Everything goes back to, you know, evolving as a humanity and healing ourselves. Healing is an inside job, as my friend Joanna says. Okay, well, that's fantastic. So I just want to say again, I really appreciate you coming on to my show and sharing your journey. as a healer, as a coach, and, you know, sharing the business side of what you do, and giving people tips that, you know, they need. So just want to remind people what you do again, because there's a whole list of things here that I didn't read out earlier on. So Dimple helps people with all kinds of things. She does mental health coaching, weight loss, with yoga and meditation therapy, energy healing, relationship coaching, and trauma release, and women's health coaching. So do you want to add like anything regarding events that are coming up in the future with what you're doing, or any workshops before we finish?
Sure. The only thing I would say that we are offering at the moment is we're just offering like a 10-week coaching program. So if they're interested, you know, they can definitely just have a call with me, and I can see if I can help them or not, because that will be the first step. In the future, I am hoping to write my book and get that released. And I just want to say this to this audience, you know, wherever you're listening from, hopefully the title of the book is Hacking Your Mind into Enlightenment.
Oh, wonderful. I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully we'll have you back on the show after you've published your book.
Yay!
Yeah,
of course.
okay.
I'll be excited for sure. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, it's been really wonderful speaking with you, Dimple. And can you plug your website again? How do people get hold of you online and social media? Where can they message you?
They can just go on to dimplebindra.com, which is DIMPLE. Bindra is BIN like Nancy, D like David, RA.com. Just go all the way down. You'll see my social media links. You can just click anywhere, message me. We will respond to you.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks again, Dimple.
Anti-Vaccine Radio. Get ahead, get seen, get heard. The distance between you and your dreams is action.
Anti-Vaccine Radio. Get ahead, get seen, get heard. We will be exploring how to thrive in business and life, living between borders in changing times, and exploring the alternative and changing world of making a living online.